everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Here we are. That's the run we died on in the last episode. I guess... I don't know why it says we can continue, actually, because I definitely, like, exited to lobby and... Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I just Alt F4'd. Whatever. I'm not gonna redo that run, because that would be intellectually dishonest, plus I hated it. Let's try a little Blue Baby Greed. Pour some blue baby on me. That's not really probably... I mean, it's not necessarily super gross unless you take it to its illogical extreme, but it's just more nonsense. I'm offended as a result of the bit. No. Okay, so that's like probably the best Isaac play I will make today. To not die in that little section right there. Let's play it cool here. We know what we're doing. We gotta... I mean, as Blue Baby Spirit Hearts are precious, right? So, oh, we gotta be very careful. We don't want to step on the button. Blue Baby Greed is actually, like, enjoyable. Partly because it's quite difficult. So, sure, maybe I shouldn't have taken all the damage that I've taken so far, but it's almost like without getting a damage upgrade or something of some usefulness right off the bat, we kind of don't have too much of a choice in the matter, you know? The chips are stacked against us to a fairly large degree, I would say, just to begin with here. So, I'm just gonna try to kite the enemies. You know, we're basically playing Geometry Wars right now, but it's like Algebra Wars, because Geometry Wars is a registered trademark of Bizarre Creations, a company that was later purchased by Microsoft, and then shuttered. Like, I don't know what these... Look, I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. Let me handle my business, darn, as JZ says. But, I don't know, EA and Microsoft, they got a bad track record. Studio does something cool, Bizarre Creations. Hey, we made Geometry Wars Retro Evolve, the Project Gotham Racing series. What do you want us to do, Microsoft, now that you've purchased us? I don't know, we got a licensed James Bond game coming out. You guys want to work on that? What are you doing? Have them make, you know, Project Gotham Racing 5. Don't just shut them down when your James Bond game tanks, because people are too savvy in the modern era to buy a licensed game unless it's, like, guaranteed to be good. It's just... Same thing, you know. Hey, we bought Maxis. What should we do? Why don't you ever make a SimCity that, you know, craps on the legacy of the franchise? You just buy them, have them keep doing what they were... This, like... 2K buying Firaxis and then being like, okay, the new Civilization game is gonna actually be called Civ with Friends. That's BS. He was riding on top of the... You saw it. You saw it. He was riding on top of the thing. I didn't think he'd be able to move for a second there. Maybe a foolish decision on my part. I'll acquiesce. Cuba Meat. Not bad. We do need to live through this section, though. I'm gonna make a little bit of a bold play here and try something like that. Okay, so we broke even. Which is about what I was expecting, to be honest. We got a hard life ahead of us here. I would like to get Skinny Odd Mushroom, but it's not even close to a guarantee that that would be good for us. We also have no Tinted Rocks. We're in trouble, dude, because this is... Like, I have to fight these guys before the next wave spawns, and we don't do enough damage to make that happen. I think this is a cursed run. That was a bit close there. Like, I think... Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's not our game plan. We've only got 2 seconds until the next wave shows up. What are you supposed to do, dude? Okay, so I'm not gonna hold R forever, but I would like to see, like, just a decent item here. We're going for progress on this one. This is not your standard run. So, I think I'm starting for a range upgrade. Get that trash out of here. I'm not starving for Old Bandage, an item that's actually useless as Blue Baby. No chance. Sure, I'll tell you what, Meat. You might, ONL, that's, you're cheating here. Not really. Meat is a 0.61 damage increase. You may know 0.61 by its Earth name, 0. You know, if you're rounding it, that would become a 0. Obviously not if you're following the traditional rules of rounding, but if you're following the rules of rounding that I'm setting up here, 0.61 damage up is a 0 damage up in Isaac. Oh, it adds up, though. Yeah, so does, you know, grains of sand add up to a beach. You only need about a quadrillion of them. Probably, I don't know. How many grains of sand do you think there are on a beach? Is a grain of sand 1 molecule of sand? Is sand like, you know, 3 carbons, 1... Well, that wouldn't really work. Is it 4 carbons? 4 hydrogens? No, that's methane. I tricked you. Congratulations. If you said yes, see me in my office because you just flunked your organic chemistry class. You gotta switch majors. It is giving us a leg up on the competition, though. I also think we might have a leg up on the competition because we're fighting, like, much easier enemies this time than we did last time. I mean, those spiders are so sneaky. Got very lucky to be against a little bit of a weaker class of villain here, I think. Not 100%. Like, there's still some jerks in the pool here, but it was much, much easier. We actually have more HP than we had when we started our last run at the end of that, so lucky us. To be honest with you, I almost wanted to just buy tarot cloth straight out, but we should check our item room. It's not very good. It's a very modest helper. But I will say tarot cloth is probably worth taking here because there's so many different win conditions that you can get as a result of having tarot cloth. So I think for now, Champion Ragman, not my ideal enemy to be facing. No, just get him. Oh, we got lucky. I don't like that this guy creates spiders when his head dies. Because that, it's just going to slow us down enough that we can't maybe bounce him over and over, but managed to get through that. And then we got Duke of Flies. This is perfect. Dookie F. He's got no problem. Written all over his forehead. Like Jared Leto's damage tattoo in the 2016 film Suicide Squad. Now, tarot cloth leaves us with 8 cents. Assuming we don't get like a 2 of diamonds or something like that. But it leaves us with 8 cents. What do you do after that? We could do a number of different things. We could buy a key. We'd probably wait till the next floor, but we'd get a key for our next item room, so we could start the next floor with 2 items instead of 1. We could possibly buy a spirit heart, which I also think is viable. We could also go to the curse room and then buy a spirit heart to make up the difference. But let's see what we start with here. Strength card. If we're gonna use a doubled strength card as a result of tarot cloth, we should probably wait until the next floor and then do all the waves at once. Because it's kind of like getting 2 magic mushes. In fact, it might literally be getting 2 magic mushes, so we might as well take full advantage of that. Even though this wave, you know, there's no love lost for fighting these enemies with our current stats. So the thing with greed mode is that, you know, although greed, once you get some money, is easier, I think almost every greed mode run tends to start a little harder than your average regular mode run. Like the curve, I wish I had like a camera on right now, because the curve for a regular run is like, it starts usually kind of medium, and then it gets a little bit easier. It's like it's the bunny hill at a ski resort or something, you know? You get on and it's like momentum just carries you all the way down, most of the time, or all the way up sometimes. And yeah, maybe there's some moguls on the path, but you can make it. Maybe an ideal deal with the devil there. Let's head downwards. And then greed mode is like, it's the opposite. Like, you start with like a big little uphill. Oh, I'm a moron. You start with a big little uphill, you gotta climb up that. You gotta take the ski lift up. And then after that, you know, it's straight down. It's like a gorge or something. Alright. We get a spirit heart. Not worth much. What do we got here? Again, not worth a whole heck of a lot, but we might want Skinny Odd Mushroom. I'm gonna buy a key. I'm gonna check our item room right off the bat. Then I'm gonna use the strength card. Shears. That's just a lovely choice for greed mode. Saves us an awful lot of problems, if I'm being straight up with you. And even like one shears per floor is probably fine. In fact, we've got a super cool like novelty build. The theme of this build is just, you know, do all the waves without ever checking in on the shop. And I think it's gonna be actually awesome. You might think, and we might do this on some floors, like double shears, right? I think it just costs us the ability to, for sure, start with the shears available on the next floor. So if we're already doing fine with one pair of shears, I don't necessarily think we need to go for broke with the second one. no fooling here. Shears in greed mode is like an 11 out of 10 item. I would rather have shears than like Polyphemus, I think. Especially when you're starting with just a garbage spacebar item to begin with, like the poop. Which, to this day, has, defenders. I don't understand it, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. We get the sensor, an item we just unlocked, and we got 15 cents here. I think we will go for a tears upgrade, even at the cost of a little damage. I mean, it doubles our rate of fire, so how can you not, right? And then, honestly, we don't love any of these items, and none of them are on sale. So my greed mode flowchart is telling me, take it down to the next floor. And we'll kind of just rinse and repeat here. This has the potential to be a pretty quick run, and a run on which I hope we can donate a bunch of money as well. I don't mind a speed upgrade. It's better than, well, at least in my opinion, it's better than just getting a random Spirit Heart at this point. We probably want Champion's Bell. I'm also going to take Pay to Win, which I believe should give us... Doesn't this give us a guaranteed reroll machine in every item room? Maybe only if we have the trinket when we go down to the floor. I don't know. One of them also, and I forget which one it is. One of the trinkets, though, gives us item rooms on the womb. But I thought it was the Dark Prince's crown, but in trinket form, like Bloody Crown. I think it is, actually, so... Maybe it gives us a reroll machine in every shop. Either way, I mean, that's good if we can guarantee that that'll actually happen. No question. I'm actually going to go double shears build here. I want to... You know, we're early on. It's relatively risk-free. Let's test our theory that we won't get a charge. Because if we will get a charge, we might as well, you know, leave it all out on the table here. I think we're going to be one shy of getting a charge, which is not that bad. We can just, you know, burn through one wave. And then we'll have shears back, but worth keeping an eye on, I guess. We could also always buy another charge for 5 cents, but it starts to mill ya. We got another deal with the devil. I don't really want to fight the angel statue, but I'm going to. And my reasoning is idiotic. Normally I go, oh, you know, you might not have thought about it, but I got a pretty good idea for why we would do this. Nah, this time I am a moron. I'm gonna do this so that we can use the shears immediately on the next floor. So basically I'm choosing, instead of fighting a single wave of enemies that might be like 8 flies, choosing to fight an angel statue with less than base damage, albeit a much better rate of fire. Is this guy immune to poison forever because he got hit once? A little rude, honestly. Either way, one way or the other, he's going out. Might take some time. We'll get a key piece, though. It's not like it's worth nothing. We're also going to get a charge on the shears. Excuse me? I hear a cat. Give me a moment, please. Hello, my feline friends. What's happening? What's happening out here? I see a cat. I see a cat. Hello, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? I don't like it when I go out there and I just heard some noises. I heard some like and then I go out and the cats are looking around like, what, us? We didn't do anything. Is that so? So like booger tears, pretty okay. Won't deny that. I don't think we want anything else here. We're gonna ignore this. Just save our money for the next floor. But your sorry's in a sack, you know? You might be saying, NL, what are you doing with this AWAS room? Well, I think we should not go to the curse room to begin the next floor. And then we should use the AWAS room to get out of the curse room and save half a spirit heart. Oh, so this is exactly what I thought it would be. I honestly think we take Latchkey. It's an HP upgrade, it's a little luck, and it saves us from having to spend a key to get in here, which is good because we got Game Kid, which is pretty much garbage, and then re-rolled it into Tech Point 5, which is extremely good. And we'll also take Car Battery, and I straight up think that's our end game. Now that we got Car Battery, we don't need to get anything else. One charge of the shears is going to do all the work we need it to do. So at this point, we should either endeavor to find a way to make more money or just save all or at least almost all the money that we get. Obviously, like a 2 of diamonds or something like that is extremely good. We don't even need blank card 2 of diamonds because we have tarot cloth, so we can get an outrageous amount of money just the old-fashioned way. We should pretty much be good to go. And that's what I mean, like this run... We actually started pretty strongly with meat, but these greed mode runs tend to start pretty difficultly. They start with some difficulty. There you go, that's a better way to phrase that. But once you find the seam, you just pull on that thread until the whole sweater unravels. Whereas in a regular run, you know, that same kind of difficulty curve is true to some extent. I'm actually using this not as a negative for greed mode, I'm using it as a positive, because I think the general consensus is that greed and greedier, you know, they're like a little too easy, and, you know, it seems like you get chaos and guppy all the time, and you're like, where's the fun in Isaac if you know 100% that you're gonna win? That was just terrible on my part. I'm here to tell you, greed mode, with some characters at least, if you're Blue Baby, or you're like the Keeper or the Lost, you got a long road ahead of you, potentially. Or you got a short road followed by a long hill. But, you know, downhill slopes can be dangerous, man, when you consider the fact that, you know, if you don't have, like, brakes on your rollerblades or something. You ever think about that? So I'm not going to pick up any more damage. I actually don't think we need it. What we might need is spirit hearts, so we could buy like a bunch of those before the final boss fight if we need to, but I really, really doubt that we will need to, so let's peep this. Okay, so Jesus juices damage. I'm not in the business of being picky about that. Samson's Chain is garbage. Don't donate too much, but throw in a couple rerolls here. Okay, we can get good cards. This might be worth it. Hanged Man, it was not worth it at all. Oh, and a judgment card, though. But it's also still pretty bad. Yeah, okay, we'll take Apple. And then in here, we really just want to donate. So we're saving our money right now. Probably should have used Hanged Man there, but I doubt it'll be too much of an issue. So just play it cool, because we're not quite at, like, guaranteed win status. We're closing in on it. I mean, Jesus Juice is a pretty nice damage upgrade for us, and I underrate and overrate this item simultaneously. It's one of those situational ones. Is it a damage multiplier? Because sometimes I pick it up and I'm like, this didn't affect me at all, more or less. The HUD kind of puts a damper on that, but puts a damper on that erroneous line of reasoning is what I mean to suggest. Sometimes I pick it up and I go, this is just, like, completely changed the game for us. Either way, though, money's looking good. You could probably run, like, a bit of mathematics and determine what the, like, most likely distribution of donations when you start with 0 is. Like, when is it most likely to break from 0 to 999 on average? Not that we're very likely to get 999, but I think, you know what? It's probably just wise to go down there with 99 cents and let the game, you know, there's a saying in Magic the Gathering, it's make him have it, which is, you know, in your head you can start to overthink it, like, oh, if he has this card, then blah, 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 if he has this card, then blah, blah, blah. But, you know, there's a decent chance he doesn't have that card, and you're kind of overthinking it, so that's kind of the principle I'm operating on right now. Sure, maybe the donation machine will break, but let's make it break. Let's give it every conceivable chance to not break and work out in our favor here. So we're on the final floor. You gotta check this. I'm sorry to tell you, you gotta check it. And we got 4 bombs. So it paid for itself. As long as that gave us a nickel, which it did. And we got another nickel there. We have enough HP that I feel this is a somewhat wise decision. We got another nickel out of the golden hearts. We'll blow this up. Spirit heart for the price of a bomb, which in this case was free, so Or no, it was 5 cents for 4 bombs. So the bomb was $1.25. I think it's or 1.25 cents rather. Literally off by a factor of 100. Is this like we exclusively fight greed statues down here? This might be like the first time I've just ever noticed that you exclusively fight greed statues down here. It's been a themed floor for the entire existence of Rebirth, and I'm just noticing. Well, these aren't greed statues. They're like greed statues with armor on. And these are greed statues in a snowsuit. And these are greed statues that fly but have legs. I guess Envy is kind of like... It looks like greed. It's got kind of the similar sort of face going on there, the troll facet. Do you really only fight like pseudo-greed type enemies here? I'm starting to have a theory. A game theory, if you know what I mean. Where the greed statues go when they die. They don't go to the cathedral where the Isaacs fly. They go to greed mode in the shop and die. See you again as I try to get 1,000,000% for the second time. Oh, I shouldn't have left. Yeah, that was like an extremely idiotic move. Was there a battery charge in there? I'm gonna roll the dice on this regardless. We need the battery charge. Like without double shears, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to beat regular like the final boss, regular super greed, as ridiculous as that sentence sounds. Because there's like a super duper greed as well. So we'll re-roll if necessary. I mean, we got the bombs for it. We'll re-roll if necessary to get a battery charge. No matter what it costs us, it's kind of worth it. Finally. Definitely, like, cannot take that. You gotta give this run a little credit. We've made this work with, like, no help from a deal with the devil whatsoever. We did get some deal with... We got censor from the deal with the angel. There's no reroll machine, so I am basically a moron. Well, let's look for a good card then. The Fool is not that card. The Sun is not that card. Death is not really that card. The Fool is not that card. 2 of Diamonds. That's a great card. I would love to take that with us. The Hierophant is like an amazing card. So we can go down to 24 cents without it being bad. Temperance. Ace of Clubs. I mean, we could Ace of Clubs like down here. Grab whatever we get. 2 of Diamonds gives us a lot of wiggle room. I really thought there was a reroll machine in here that we could use to grab a battery, but well, the other thing we could do is forget the cards, start snagging items, and hope that these items give you the keys to the kingdom. The Devil. That's the card we're looking for. That should work, but I am basically an idiot for... Yeah, we're still not quite gonna get it. I'm basically an idiot for using the shears, especially considering that was like our endgame condition. With the double devil card, I think we might be able to make it work regardless. Plus, it adds a little bit of a little certain je ne sais quoi towards the end of the video, you know? Like anything could happen. We'll probably still win. It's a fairly strong run. Can we leave after we fight that guy? I'm not gonna worry. I would rather leave this 25 cents here and not be able to get it, but have a chance to donate 25, leave, grab it, and come back in. Effectively, our opportunity cost is like 5 cents right now, and we could gain 5 cents on this fight pretty easily. So I think it's much more in our interest to try to, don't do it. It's much more in our interest to try to, make this work as is. Well... we got a luck upgrade for it. Considering Tech X, I don't think we need to murder those guys necessarily, but we will nonetheless, because it's actually getting pretty hot, and we're doing a terrible job of fighting greed here. It is just, like, not particularly going that well. We're gonna win. I mean, we've stacked up enough HP that a loss is extremely unlikely, but whatever, dude. I'll fight the statues. I think we gotta kill the source as soon as possible. You ever play Gauntlet Legends? You gotta kill the spawners before you kill the mobs. You kill the monsters that are guarding the spawner. Then you kill the spawner, then you kill the riffraff. There's a basic flowchart that you follow. You're executing an enemy-destroying algorithm. Otherwise, you could be fighting these little greed statues all day, you know? I'm not in the interest of doing that. You gotta cut off the head of the snake. Thank you for not being Ipecac shots. Okay, I've decided to revise my previous plan. I think it is wise to attack the keys. Because every key you kill saves you about 15 shots against these enemies that spawn. Alright, yeah. Thanks for the chance of redemption. I appreciate it. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Greed mode, greed mode. No key. Oh my god. You just turned me into a cell phone company from Finland because I went no keys. Ah! No, Nokia. Nokia. I think like 80% of the damage I've done to Super Greed I haven't even noticed. It's been Tech X damage while I've been farming other garbage. No keys, please. Okay, hearts. Dude. Young hearts spark fire, but your hearts spark ire. I'm not interested in dealing with your self-healing ways, good sir. I can out-damage you. I've got a double devil card. And an oyster card for the double-decker bus. Excuse me, sir. You have been slain. You just do not realize it yet. Look at the shade of red you are, dude. Gotta take that blood pressure medication. You're gonna go through arthrosclerosis. Cracked dice is a great pickup for us here. We got a 0% chance to break the machine. I'm assuming maybe like 600 cents might give us an unlock, but I doubt it will. 750 is like the next milestone I'd feel comfortable guessing. We can't leave, so we did lose a little bit of money, but we know that for the future now. Nothing. The other maybe on 666 we'll get an unlock. I mean, it is that sort of video game. I don't know why I switched to this voice. What are you doing, Susan? Watching Family Guy. Gotta add a little style and panache here. You know I had to do it to him. There we go. Alright, 1% chance of breaking. Percent. So I think that gives us a little bit more than a 5% chance, considering we started at like 25 cents. And the percentage chance is going up behind the scenes right now, I think, regardless of our knowledge of it. Let's get the heck out of there. We got to 658. Pretty good. Greed mode is like closing in on completion. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.